Hi, it's Delia. So, today I was on a call with a group of people and we were talking about resistance. And if you've heard me talk about resistance before, you've heard me talk about resistance as the super glue of the universe, right? And how what you resist persists. Everybody's heard that. And what you resist, you become. So that usually brings up some emotionality, some judgments. So everything that brings up and lets down, let's destroy and uncreate at all times the godzillion. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. All right, so the other thing about resistance, and there's a kind of an extra confusion about resistance these days because of the times that we live in, and because resistance is a tool that citizens can use to affect policy, and there is a lot of social injustice that the general way that we employ to affect change in society and in policy and in the judicial system is through resistance. So I'm not going to talk about that kind of resistance. I'm going to talk about the energy of resistance. And if you employ different a different approach to the energy of resistance, you will be able to use it in any of your social justice activities, and it'll be easier. There'll be more ease for you and for your body. So resistance is it's got a lot of heat to it, and do this. Make a fist and keep it tight, tighter than you think you can keep it, and tight, and then boom, let go. So just notice how your hand, your body feels when it's tight in resistance, and then how it feels, the sensations when you let go of the resistance. So you'll notice many things and see what's true for you. But one of the first things that I noticed years ago, the first time I did this, was when I opened my hand, it felt empty. The word that came to my mind was empty. And this is actually very telling, because resistance is really occupying. It really, it takes up a lot of energy. It takes up a lot of time. It takes a lot of brain power and, refining everything and parsing everything. And there's just a lot of occupation that goes into resistance. And so opening the palm and feeling the air and having the descriptor be empty was very telling, because when you're in resistance, you're occupied, as in you're kept busy, as in you're constantly engaged, which can also be constantly distracted, but you're distracted in a socially acceptable way. And so if you're, open palm, you're not being occupied by this other energy, by proving who's right and who's wrong, by proving who you are and what you care about, by what you're for. But usually resistance is demonstrating what you're against, right? So if you're not doing all of that, then what would you be doing? And this is where a lot of times discomfort comes up, because who am I if I'm not resisting social injustice? Who am I if I'm not resisting institutions? Who am I if I'm not resisting a rape, racist society, right? Everybody, it'll be different words for everybody, but if you're not in resistance of those things, then who are you? And that is a very uncomfortable question. It may be a very comfortable question for your analyzer, which may have a little, grocery list of bullet points of who I am. But that's not actually who you are. Those are ideas, definitions, conclusions about who you are. So at some point in your spiritual awakening and being on your spiritual path, it's going to be a good idea to become, if not comfortable with being uncomfortable, it's going to be a good idea to become okay. And just allow things that don't make sense, or that disappoint, or that are not what you thought they were. So anything that doesn't allow you to allow that, do you choose to destroy and uncreate at all times a godzillion? Yes, I choose that. Destroy, destroy, disintegrate, and erase. All right, so another way of thinking about resistance, because it's an energetic thing. I mean, we live the basis of this reality. Some people call it dichotomy, but really it's competition. Something is better than something else. And it's not. They're different, and they're different dimensions, different perspectives. So, to me, spiritual and spiritual is spirit, as in non-corporeal energy, as opposed to spirit, guides and angels in the same hierarchy as the church, but without, the man. So to me, spiritual is energy. And there's lots and 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 lots of ways in the New Age and in alternative thinking that is just like the oppressive hierarchy of religion or dogma. It just has, it's dressed in purple, or where it eats kale, right? So if you're not participating, if you're, put it this way, if you're experiencing that kind of judgment on you, except it's from the New Age world, first of all, it means you're not crazy. It means you're actually seeing through the projections of whatever group that you're in is, because that judging hierarchical thing is really prevalent in a lot of the New Age world. I'm not saying it is for you. I'm not, check for yourself. I've just found that to be true for me and a whole lot of other people. So the shortcut to all of this is, if it is true for you, you will notice a lightness, a spaciousness, almost an airiness. Your thinking, your breathing gets better, gets deeper. Your body feels better and better. And you have more and more of a sense of possibilities. That means it's true for you. If, however, you feel constricted, bad, wrong, judged, punitive, small, then it is not true for you. So this was beautiful when it was just the birds and the bees, but now there's a blower. Sorry about that. All right, so resistance. Let's not resist the distractions that are going on right now. Let's stick to the topic. So if you're in resistance, you have to be in judgment. There's no judgment without resistance, and there's no resistance without judgment. And resistance is like a catcher's mitt made of suckers, like the suckers on a octopus. And so whatever comes in, like if you're blocking, the norm in our society is to put up barriers to protect yourself. So imagine putting up 100 million suckers to protect yourself. And so now what happens is you get stuck on everything that comes at you, which is the exact opposite of what you were hoping to achieve by putting up all of the barriers. So if resistance is a catcher's mitt that's designed to suck up everything, what if you try, just in this moment, just close your eyes and take a couple of nice deep breaths. And just barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. All levels, layers, and dimensions, barriers down. And just allow, allow, allow. So any thoughts or feelings that float into your head or your body, what if you don't resist any of them? What if you just allow them to be there? And if you have a tightness or an uncomfortable sensation in your body, just breathe and allow. Just allow it. So resisting it would be things like trying to figure out what it is. Where did it come from? When did it start? How do you get rid of it? Those are all resistance. Breathe. What if instead you just allow? Breathe. And what if beyond just allowing, you allow yourself to receive from this energy? Whatever that might mean. Breathe. Perceive. Allow. Breathe. All right, so did you notice that big shift? It was like different tension in the body relaxing, letting go. Breathing got easier and deeper because the diaphragm relaxed. And the shoulders could come out of your ears. Yeah. So when you're allowing, when your barrier's down, all that stuff that might come to you now, you're not giving it landing spots. You're not putting up the barrier to the energy so the energy can get stuck in your system. Yeah, this way you're just allowing it to move on. You don't have to judge it. You don't have to align and agree with it. You don't have to defend for or against it. You just allow and let it just pass on by. All right, so as you go through your day and your evening, start to play with allowing. And when you notice yourself tensing up, play with barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. All levels, layers, and dimensions, barriers down, and allow, allow, allow. Now, of course, I'm not talking about allowing yourself to be in physical danger or anything like that. If anything like that is going on, you allow yourself to get safe. Even if it's going to hurt somebody else's feelings, allow yourself to find safety, okay? And for those of you who are not in a physical situation or psychological difficult situation, if you're just kind of in the regular run-of-the-mill kind of a life, see how allowing works for you. Just try the experiment and see what happens. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks. And just allow the day to unfold with ease and joy and glory.